Tonight, we extend a special welcome to our Premier. She's been here before in Warwick at a public meeting which was very well attended. I'd like to thank the Premier for coming extra early, during which she had a private and personal session with members of the public. Thank you, Premier, for that. You had an opportunity to come up and have a chat with the Premier. We'd like to thank also for joining us on the panel, Bermuda College lecturer Mr. Craig Simmons, who is right here on my left. And we're also joined, and this is where it gets a little ticklish when it comes to protocol, because we have now the former minister responsible has been moved to the AG's department. So the ministers had a chat, and it was agreed that because the change was it was just recent, that the minister who was responsible in the past year for establishing policy, having public meetings, would be best to come along and share some details with you. I'm sure at future meetings, the new minister, Minister Patrice Minus, will be the one that you will see here. So that's why Minister Minus, in 24 hours, would not be able to, probably read a speech, but you want some detailed answers in return. So I'm glad that the two ministers worked this out in the best interest of the community. Again, welcome to everyone. As people come in, we're going to start, and I'm going to ask Minister Kim Wilson to start us off as we look at the topic, which is you, me, and the economy. So we're talking about the economy, a very big topic in the community, a topic that certainly comes up on the doorstep. And so tonight we'll hear from the minister, and after that we will hear from Mr. Craig Simmons, and then we'll hear from our Premier, and then throw the floor open for questions. So we'll start with Minister Kim Wilson.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me without this? Or? Yes? Yes? Okay. Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Madam Premier, MP Butler, and Craig. As Minister MP Butler indicated, I will just spend a few moments in talking about some of. Do I need to use this? Okay, I'll spend.
I just hold the lead one.
Okay, all right, fine, thanks. I'll just spend a few moments talking about some of the initiatives that the government has introduced, and particularly within the last 12 months as it relates to the economy, and obviously in the forefront of many people's minds are issues of unemployment, retraining, and retooling. We do, the ministry, one of the mandates of the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry was effectively to state that we recognize that at some point the economy will turn back and we will see Bermuda flourishing as it has in the past. And what we want to do is make sure that the Bermudian labor force is ready when that change comes. It may very well mean that we need to retool, because some of the jobs that were in Bermuda yesterday will probably not be here in 2 years from now. Thank you. Thanks. And likewise, thank you. Some of the jobs that people and vocations that people participated in 5 years don't exist now because technology is evolving, etc. So one of the focuses of the Ministry of Economy and Trade and Industry, primarily with respect to employment, was working in tandem with the National Training Board as well as the Labor Department to help to provide individuals that are either currently unemployed, or individuals that are seeking to get into the labor market, or individuals that are seeking to retool and retrain, and that we will provide those type of services. So the Department of Labor and Training is providing such things as soft skill training, things that will assist people with perhaps getting together a resume. A lot of people didn't even realize that the department has the tools for helping somebody to even put together the resume. If they don't have access to an internet, they can get their own Gmail account through the department and go in every now and again, log on, and be able to receive information about jobs that they've applied for, and so forth. So the absence of technology in one's home should not prevent them from making use of these services at Labor and Training as it relates to jobs. So in addition to that, the The ministry, has, in conjunction with the government, also held a number of job fairs, the most recent one being last Tuesday, and there was also one in February. And the last Tuesday's job fair primarily was aimed at persons in the hospitality industry, recognizing that there's approximately 600 jobs that will become vacant next year for the 2012-13 tourism season. Many of those will be work permit renewals, and many of them are existing vacancies. And what we did is we worked in tangent with the 14 of the hotels who supplied us with all the details of the job availabilities that will be coming up for the next year's season, so that it allowed individuals that wish to pursue those jobs to attend at the fair. They knew how many jobs were going to be available, in what categories, what the skill set was required, etc., so that they could make application. And I think by all measures it was quite a successful fair. We've also worked in tandem with the pageant partners under the BCM McAlpine, who are building, as you know, the redevelopment of the hospital project, to ensure that subcontractors are provided with opportunities to bid and to take advantage of assisting with the building of what will eventually be one of Bermuda's most up-to-date facilities. Now, we recognize that the project is at a certain stage, but when it gets to, I think they're anticipating perhaps near the end of this year, the beginning of next year, when they'll need more subcontractors to, and I'm not a construction person, but once they get to a particular level, that's when they'll be requiring more and more subcontractors. So we have the opportunity of having a job fair, so to speak, with BCM and pageant partners, so they were able to explain to all individuals that were potential subcontractors, be it carpenters, electricians, plumbers, and the like, so that they'll be ready for the project when it comes to that particular phase. Through the Bermuda Small Business Development Corporation, which is effectively, their mantra is entrepreneurship, and they're prepared, and they provide services and so forth for anybody that's interested in starting up their own business. And we recognize that, and I suspect Craig would agree with me, one of the best ways to jumpstart any economy is through the use of entrepreneurship. And so that particular department is seized with providing services and reference information. A host of provisions are there to help people that wish to start up their own business, from small to medium-sized businesses, as well as businesses that may already be in existence that need to get tools to brand out or to accept more members of staff, etc. So that's a particular service that is charged with that particular function. We've also have the National Training Board, as I spoke about briefly, which also provides training for and certification in particular for people within the trades. That works really well with the consumer affairs element, which also falls under this ministry, because it allows for persons that are certified within a particular skill set. So for example, electricians have to go through this process of certification, so that when you hire an electrician, even though the buyer beware phenomenon applies, but at least you know that if you say, can I please have a copy of your certification, you know that the electrician that's installing those new lights in your house has a requisite certification, as opposed to somebody that may not be certified, and that may cause all kinds of problems down the line because of the lack of skill set that they have. We also, real quickly, have started the Small Jobs Initiative, and that was in working with government estates, where certain projects through government estates were identified, and 30 individuals were hired through a company that was selected that was a graduate for the Bermuda Small Business Incubator Program. And those individuals were being paid, they're still working now, they're in week 5 actually of that program, $600 a week, and they're doing such things as certain government works, post offices, schools, etc. And that's a sustained program for approximately 12 weeks, and it's allowing individuals that have been heretofore unemployed to receive some type of income. What we also did is that we tied the selection criteria of those individuals. A, they must have been registered with the Department of Labor and Training, and B, if there were any individuals that were the recipients of financial assistance, then the amount of money that they received in terms of remuneration was deducted from the amount of money that they would have received from financial assistance to help further empower them. We also have the project with respect to, again, another subcontractor was retained from the Bermuda Small Business Development Corporation's incubator program, and they completed the renovations of the Seasong, which is a property over on the South Shore in John Smith Bay. It enabled this contractor and his team to do various works. They obviously had to require subcontractors for carpenters, plumbing, and electricians, so we were able to provide that type of financial impetus to these individuals by means of employment. We've done a second project that's getting ready to start at the South Side, the men's residence at Southside, where another contractor, following the bidding process, again, the requisite requirement is that the individuals must be graduates from the incubator program, then they'll be able to go ahead and commence those works. How many more minutes do I have? Okay. Really, I'm almost finished. You would have also noted that last February the government issued a moratorium on various job categories. The primary objective of that was to provide job opportunities for unemployed Bermudians in the areas of landscape gardening, cleaning, kitchen and bar porters, as well as skilled laborers. That moratorium does still exist. However, there are individual companies who, if they are able to satisfy that the individuals who they are requiring for the work permits to be renewed are individuals that are of a supervisory capacity and that they are needed to help to train others, i.e. Bermudians, and there are exemptions being made for the retention of those individuals. You would also notice a few weeks ago we implemented the 10-year work permit. It started, I think, November 1st, actually. But it was announced several weeks ago, and the Madam Premier announced it as well in June of this year. And that provides for the availability of qualifying companies to apply for a 10-year work permit for their employees, subject to some conditions with respect to the employee's company. Waiter service program is getting ready to start. We have almost 400 work permit and open categories for waiters in the hospitality industry. This is excluding the restaurants. This is just within the hotels and the hospitality industry. And so what we're doing is we're starting a program. We have 107 people, I believe, that signed up on Tuesday. We'll be doing it through the Bermuda College so that they will not only learn soft skills and so forth, but also waiting skills, wine opening, all the whole 9 yards. The interest level has been very, very high, and it's a number of people, I suspect the majority of the people actually have never worked in the hospitality industry, and it's an industry that they're keen to explore. So that's a great thing for our tourism element as well. The Cabinet has approved the amalgamation of the One-Stop Career Center, which will see the combination of the Department of Labor and Training as well as the National Training Board amalgamated so that it will help to provide better unity and services to individuals that are seeking to be employed, seeking to be retrained, needing career advice, assistance, and the like. And I believe that's it in 10 minutes. Thank you.
10 minutes to one.